I don't think that there are many in this body that would go home tomorrow to a senior citizen home, to the Boy Scouts, to a veteran group, and look people in the eye and tell them that our state Senate or our state legislature is just doing fine ethically and that there's nothing we really need to do. And for those of you who would say that, I think you would get an audience who would raise an eyebrow at you because the evidence that they see, which is quite compelling, tells them something different. I walked by a colleague's office the other day and stepped inside and saw a picture of this body from a few years ago, and 10 members of that body, this body, 10 members from a few years ago, have been indicted, sitting in one photograph. So that's about 1/6 of the picture. And this is to say nothing about the Assembly, which has had its own share of indictments in the past few years and convictions. The problem's not just New York City, it's not just Long Island, it's not Western New York, it's not just upstate, it is throughout the state. It is not Republican, it is not Democrat, it is everybody. There is enough blame to share for corruption throughout the entire state that that group you're talking to would be pretty right in telling you that we have a systemic issue. Yet here we sit today having the powers to come up with lots of good policy in the budget, and yet the answer to is there ethics reform in this budget is no but. And while I am a major proponent of pension forfeiture, we have to ask ourselves whether somebody who is willing to risk going to jail to commit a crime would stop knowing his or her pension would be forfeited. And I think a lot of this comes down to a different type of philosophy, right? There's the philosophy of you get some bad people, you're going to get some bad outcomes, what are you going to do? And it doesn't have to go to the character of the people in a particular body to realize that there are systemic problems. I vehemently disagree with that viewpoint, which is, what are you going to do? You're going to get a crook in this house, he or she is going to steal, what law can you possibly pass? Now, of course that's true. Of course that's true. But there's only so many times you could ask a person to walk past a plate of cookies in a given course of a day and expect them to keep their hands in their pockets. And we put people in really bad positions all the time, whether it's with outside income, whether it's with any ability to earn outside income, whether it's with the LLC loophole, whether it's with the ability to have oversight over money that this body, the legislature, gives out. We have to address something systemically. And I know all of you going back to your districts would look your constituent in the face and have to agree with that, and yet here we are with very little. So I think we could do better. I think there's a lot of good things in this bill. A hate crimes task force. We're taking care of crime victims. We're helping retirees. But we got to do better when it comes to ethics reform. I was literally in a room with law enforcement officers back in a prior life where they joked half-kiddingly that the state legislature could be the basis of a RICO enterprise. We should never ever want to be the butt of a joke, to have law enforcement just sitting, waiting around for them to do something because we won't do it ourselves. We have the ability to show people that we understand that while there are good people in this body, when we have a broken system, it's going to lead to bad results. I think we could do better, and I hope we take the opportunity in the days to come to do that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Hoylman.